Hey, this is the Daily Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about renting a virtual office. Okay, so it is a really nice day today, surprisingly nice for this time of year, and I've been in the office pretty much all day long. So I thought I would come outside and do the video out here and talk a little bit about my office building and virtual offices in general. So this is my office building. It's obviously one small office in this big building. And I've been working here for about 6 months, right? So, and before that, I was working in an office above a shop for about 2 years. And for many years before that, I was working from home. So Overpass address was my loft. So I was working from up there, and my early videos were done from the loft at my house. But pretty much the whole time I was working from home, I had a virtual office. So I'd have some place for my mail to get sent, my registered office. I hated to use my personal home address on any kind of correspondence or for my registered address or anything that people could look up. So that was something that I found really useful. For a lot of times, it was actually this building here was my virtual office. So I would come down here, check my mail and everything like that. But when I first set up, I used a London virtual office. So there were like lots of services out there that would say, this could be your official office address, even though you never go there. It's your virtual office. If you had to have a meeting there, you could book it out there and go meet with clients. But it was this, or you could use a picture of the office for your website and everything like that. And I thought it was being really clever. And I've talked to lots of people since who have told me about they've done the similar kind of thing. Like, hey, I've got this posh London address, but I really just work from home. And it's like, it's so obvious, it's so transparent now that I think you're not really fooling anybody. So here's what happened with me. Right, I had this virtual office in London for about a year and a half, and I had a picture of it on my website. I had it as my address, I had it as my registered office. I thought it made the company look bigger, not just, you know, this guy here working from home, but I had this nice big address, right? And I was working a contract in London, so it was kind of convenient because it was only like about 45 minutes away from the office that I was at. Half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on whether it was rush hour on the tube or whatever. So one day I had this client lined up, and I was actually pretty excited because I finally had a client meeting, right? And I told them, I said, actually, I'm not going to be at that address. I'm working at another client address at the moment. So if we could meet at the lobby of this other building here, that would be great. So I tried to say where I was working my contract. And you pretty much guess what happened, right? The guy showed up at the virtual office, and I was like far away from it, right? And he couldn't find any. He was asking about Overpass. Nobody knew anything. You know, it was just. And he called up, said, it was so stupid because he said, "I'm in the lobby. Where are you?" I said, "I'm in the lobby too. Where are you?" And he goes, I'm standing over by the Christmas tree. And I said, there is no Christmas tree, because it was at Christmas time, right? And it was so embarrassing. And then it was quick to find out that he was in the wrong place. And it wasn't so much that it was a virtual office. It was because it was the deception of it all. I was so embarrassed. I never even called him back. I never even rescheduled the meeting. I was so embarrassed about it because he had caught me in a lie. He had caught me in something saying that we're this big company and we weren't. And ever since then, I'm a lot more transparent about things. I'm a lot more like, hey, it's me, I've got a few other guys, or I've got an offshore team, or I've got somebody in the office or whatever, and I'm usually like really self-conscious about the fact I don't want to lead anybody on to look bigger than we are, because for many years I was trying to do that, and that's what I did with the virtual office. So I highly encourage you, if you're setting up your own company, or you've set up your own company, rather than use your home address, which I think using a home address looks less professional than a P.O. box or a virtual office address, but do it in a way that's not like you're trying to fool anybody. Like if somebody calls up and says, oh, is this your address? Actually, that's a virtual office. That's a virtual office. You know, but we can meet at this coffee shop or whatever. I do a lot of meetings at coffee shops, but now I have an office. It's not so much an issue, but in the early days, God, it was. So I wouldn't advise going for the posh, you know, London office. If you go for a virtual office, go to something nearby that you could get to in 5 minutes, just in case somebody shows up there. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Hey, have you ever experimented with a virtual office? Do you have any real good stories about it, or did it work out for you? Because for me, it never did. Anyway, that is it for today. I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow.